President, Ambassador Dr. Raza Muhammad. Dr. Raza has held various prestigious command and staff assignments. He has served as Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Defense Production. Dr. Raza was also appointed Ambassador of Pakistan to Mauritius, Madagascar, Seychelles, and Comoros. Before joining IPRI as President, he has also served as an advisor to the President of the National Defense University. I would now request President IPRI to please come on the stage and deliver his opening remarks.
All praises to Allah the Almighty, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Salam be upon the humanity, upon all the Muslims, upon all the countries, upon the Palestinians who are suffering, and upon you all who are sitting here. It's a great honor and pleasure to welcome you, Excellency Al-Turk, for coming here and sparing your time on short notice to speak to us on the situation, I would not say situation, miserable situation in Palestine, which is going on for past few days. I also take this opportunity to welcome Lieutenant General Lodi, Lieutenant Muzammal, the Simon from British High Commissioner, and other members of the Palestinian Embassy, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here and sparing your time to share your feelings and to listen to Mr. Al-Turk. As far as Palestine is concerned, I won't go into too much of details, but you all know that it was British mandate and also Balfour Declaration of 1917, which gave a kind of decision, you would say, or intent to create a state of Israel from the existing Palestinian territories. They came here as settlers, they had communes, they worked together, and communes joined together and they started becoming the hamlets, and then they started arming themselves. Palestinians started selling lands to them, and that is how they started expanding. And first war came in 1947, 48, and then 1963 was a turning point. Unfortunately, despite trumpeting of human rights, international humanitarian law, and international law, the so-called in charge of the world have kept their eyes closed, their ears, their eyes don't listen the cries, they don't see the miseries which the Palestinian children, women and civilians are suffering through now. Gaza is being bombed without any remorse, without any regret, and it has been announced officially by the Israeli defense minister that do not care for international humanitarian laws or any laws or human rights when you are bombing. And they stated that Palestinians are like, unfortunately, human animals. And secondly, that Gaza will never be in the state it was. And this has been happening in all the skirmishes, in all the wars, that they took this opportunity to actually reduce the territories which are being held by the Palestinians. The world conscience is knocked at, or people are trying to awake it, but unfortunately, day before yesterday, the resolution which was for the ceasefire, which was tabled in United Nations Security Council, was vetoed by two main countries, and unfortunately, it did not go forward. Yesterday, President Biden was to come to Jordan and meet the Arab countries' people, but unfortunately, because of the bombing of a hospital in which hundreds of people have been killed, the talks or the meeting has been postponed. So this is a state, it's very terrible, it's very painful, and for this, Excellency, would like you to share your views with us. And as far as we are concerned, we Pakistani, we have been standing with Palestine always, and will continue to stand with Palestine, with its cause. And we would like to see an independent, separate homeland for the Palestinians. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Raza, for your enlightening words. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to hear from our distinguished chief guest, His Excellency, Mr. Nadir al-Turk. Mr. Nadir is the Deputy Head of Mission of the State of Palestine in Pakistan. He has attended various government and diplomatic positions since 1996. He is also a PhD researcher in international law and a human rights activist. I would like to request our distinguished chief guest to please come on the stage and present his remarks.
Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, thanks for your time to come and attend this short speech seminar about the crisis in Gaza Strip, in part very precious and important part of state of Palestine. What is happening there right now actually is misery, collective punishment, crimes against humanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing. What is happening actually can't be understood of any way. And sadly, that what is happening, it is undercover by some international countries, like Americans, our brother British, France, German, and many other countries. We are victim of double standard. If this what happening in Gaza since 7th of October happened in Ukraine or other European countries, it's going to be no silence. We see the reactions of the European countries, of the Americans, when the Ukrainian people suffer of occupation. We are suffer of occupation as Palestinians since 1948 until now, and we are only supported by silence of the main powers of the world. We are victims of the violence, victims of the double standards, which is create a clogged political horizon, which make us react as a freedom fighter to defend ourselves when we find no one defend us, no one use his power, no one use his freedom of speech to support the Palestinian cause. Israel was created from nothing on our historical homeland to solve the suffering of the Jew and the European, because there was victims of apartheid by Europeans there. According to that, our brother British governments support them by declaration, Balfour Declaration, to establishing a state on the land of other people. The giving was not owned for the people, no, not deserve. If the British like to give a country for the Jew, why they didn't give them what part of Britain? Why they didn't give them London, other city to become a state for the Israelis? This is a question. Okay, this is the establishing of all the conflict in our region. This is the establishing and the reason for what we are facing right now. This is the roots of all our problems. So what is happening right now, it is circle of bloody circle. We are believe each life matter. Whatever your religion, whatever your color, whatever your citizen, it is not important. The most important thing is that you are a human being. You are British, Jew, Palestinian, Muslim, Christian, whatever. Indian, Chinese, Korean, all are brothers and sisters in humanity. All of us are equal. All of us are son and daughter of Adam and Eve. The most important things we need to keep this in mind. If we forget that, we're facing what we are facing right on the ground. We're facing double standard. We're facing a misery life for some people when others are watching and keep silence. What we are looking for actually is justice. What we are looking for it is freedom. We are having an example that is British, but supporting the resolution 181, which was mentioned by the United Nations in 1947, to establishing 2 states in the historical land of Palestine. They're giving for 30% transfer from Europe to Palestine, which are Jews. They give them 56% of the land, and with all the facilities it is getting from the British occupation to Palestine. In that time, they only owned 7 to 15% of the land. With that, they're getting for free 56% of the Palestinian homeland. And they're giving for the Palestinian, the real owner of the land, 43% of their own homeland to be a state, which is until now getting a birth certificate, but it is not birth until now. And they're giving 1% to become international, under the international society control, by being controlled by the United Nations for the Holy Land in Aqsa and Jerusalem and Bethlehem, which is the most holy, precious land for the Muslim Ummah and for the Christians around the world. I will, just to keep this in mind, keep this map in mind. This is the map of Palestine. This is the map of Palestine before the establishing of the Israel on our homeland. This was the plan to be divided to 2 states. The brown one going to be for the Jew, and the south one, the green one, going to be for the Palestinians. This was in 1937. Okay? Later on, according to 181 resolution, they're giving, as I mentioned, 56% of the land and decrease the Palestinian territory to become 43%. Occupation 19, after the establishment of Israel, they control 78% of the Palestinian territories and become the West Bank and Gaza Strip. West Bank was under the control of the Jordanians, and the Gaza Strip was under the control of the Egyptian. And this was the genius plan of Mr. Trump when he decided to facilitate peace process in our region after a long time without negotiation and without getting roadmap for peace. He decided to give the Palestinians 12% of their land and giving 88% of the Palestinian land for the Israelis. I don't know what you are waiting from Palestinian actually. We are negotiate since 1991, except to get 22% of our homeland only, and recognize Israel within getting 78% over our homeland. What the international society waiting more from our leadership and from our people? To die and give the 100% for Israel for free? Is this what we are waiting for? I don't understand what we are waiting for. I can't understand what's the meaning of the right of self-defense, which is given for the Israelis and ignored for the Palestinians. And can't understand what's the meaning of democracy when I saw more than 1 million British, more than 1 million American on the street of their own country supporting Palestinian cause, stand up with the suffering of Gaza people. On the other hand, their government supporting occupation, supporting settlements, supporting the criminal actions created by Israelis against our human beings, Palestinians living on Gaza Strip and in West Bank. I can't understand really how the principle of democracy can be work when you are not representing your own people and you present the interest of other foreign country. This need to be understood for everyone. What we are looking for again and again is peace, stability. Not only for us as a Palestinian. What we are looking for is stability and peace for everyone, for all the nations. But what we are waiting from other nations is supporting us as a human being. Not like the Israelis minister mentioned, there are animals human. They was facing same from Nazi speech. When he speak about the Jews, they are only rats. And according to that, the Nazi have the right to kill the Jew in the gas offense. And right now, the Israelis mention that we are, as Palestinians, are human animals, to getting support by the silence of the world to kill and humanicide as much as Palestinians without getting any reactions, because we are only killed animals. That you are killing sheep to eat, killing a chicken to eat. Is this what we are looking for our human being? This is the future, what you are looking for our next generations? Is this the future of stability? When I saw the veto of Americans, I really feel sad. USA and British using veto in favor of Israel more than they are used it for the favor of their own people. Very sad. Very sad when you said that settlements are illegal and you are said fighting the settlers is not allowed. Very sad that in your own internal laws, when some thief comes to your home, you have the right to kill him, to defend yourself and your property. On the other hand, the Palestinian don't have the right to defend himself, his home, his children, his wife, his mother, and he become a terrorist. This is the meaning of double standard. Like Ukrainian people deserve to have stability, peace, the Palestinians have the same right. That the Ukrainians have the right to be independent and free from occupation, Palestine have the same right. As every nation around the world have the right to have peaceful life and stability, our children, our women, our old people, our young generation have the equal right. This is what we are looking for. When the hospital yesterday attacked last night by the Israelis, I remember one thing. When the Russians was attack a hotel in Kiev, they said they are attack civilians institute and attack civilians. Can I ask a question for the silence government? I hear really sad when I ask this question. What are you going to say about attacking and killing 500 civilians in hospital? They actually was looking for peaceful place to sleep, have a short sleep on this madness created by the Israelis against our people. They was looking only for peaceful place to sleep, and they are asleep forever. This is the question. Were you going to have the same speech and you said that the Israelis attack civilians? Are you going to say this is homicide? You're going to say this is crimes against humanity? Or are they going to say Israelis have the right of self-defense? This is a question for the silent governments in the Western country, which is really sad when I speak, as you know, I study international relations, study political science, which is most of it was created, and I was one of the freedom fighter, defender, human rights defender in Amnesty International, which is located in London. I'm really sad when I see one of the most important human defender institute in the world located in a country supporting occupation, supporting the killing of the Palestinian, and supporting the settlements, and keep silence. I really proud of other British people because there is a voice in favor of humanity, in favor of the Palestinian rights to live, in favor of peace. But really I feel shame when I see the silence of the governments and the blind support for the Israelis, which give the Israelis the power to kill and feel it is going to be survive and escape from being punished by the support of this government. What we are needed, we need to cooperate together to create peace, to create stability, not only for the Palestinians, not only for our region, but for all the world. Creating peace don't need double standard. It needs to be one standard for everyone. No one is above the law. Everyone, all the nation, whatever is their nation, is under the law. This is what we are looking for. We are looking for we are only looking for small logical things. We are asking for getting independence, establishing our own state with Jerusalem as its capital, right of return of our Palestinian refugees to their own home and properties, which was transferred from it by force in 1948, according to the International Resolution 194. We ask for two-state solution according to 181 resolution, which was organized by United Nations. We are looking for getting better future for our children, our people, and for all of humanity. This is our message. Is this message deserve to be killed in cold blood by the Israelis? Is this message deserve to getting answer by attack civilians? I'm really sad when I hear that the Palestinians, armed people, freedom fighters, using the civilians as shield. I don't know where is the armed people was killed in the videos in the attack yesterday in the hospital. I have a question for the Israeli army. How many armed people, Palestinian armed people, or fighter of Hamas, you killed during this madness and this attack in Gaza since the 7th of this month? How many? 2, 3, 5? But on the other hand, you killed more than 3,500 child and women. You are killed 3,500 civilians. Is killing of 5 give you the right to kill 3,500 civilians? What the Israelis asked for it since 4 days. They ask the people in north of Gaza to leave their homes, their properties, and transfer themselves to be in the south of Gaza. On the other hand, they attack the people in south of Gaza. And they don't give safe passage to reach that safe place is what you are thinking about it. But I don't know what is more than safe, a hospital, civilian hospital. This is the question. The plan, according to what's published in many international media, the Israeli plan is first transfer 1.1 million Palestinian civilians from north of Gaza to the south of Gaza. Second step, transfer 2.2 million Palestinians living in Gaza Strip to the Egyptian borders. And the third step actually is damage and destroy Gaza Strip by tactical nuclear weapons to damage it once forever, which means the Palestinians people in Gaza will become refugees for the second time in life since 1948 until now. But this time, they will have no place to come back to it because it's going to be damaged by nuclear weapons. They name it Jadam bombs. Is this what is the international society like to see? Destroyed of Gaza Strip? Or homicide against 2.2 million people living there? They was looking to live in peace, but we didn't get peace until now. I don't know what they are asking more when you are giving opportunity by accepting to have a state on only 22% of our homeland. What you are requesting us to do more? Die in peace and give you our homeland free? If this is what you are looking for? I don't know how this government can face their own people when they are speaking like this. I can't understand what kind of shame he can see by his eye when he facing a mirror, when he speak about civilians in this careless way. We care about all human beings. We are believe again and again and again. Whatever your color, whatever your nation, whatever your religion, isn't matter. The most important thing is that you are a human being. According to that, as a Palestinians, we are believe that each life, it is precious because it is created by Allah Himself. So we are taking care of all the life of all the people around the world, not only about our own lives. If we are only take care of our own life only, we will keep requesting to getting 100% of our homeland before the establishment of Israel. But we accept to get only 22%. What you are asking more? We are asking for get the end the occupation. We are asking for giving hope for the young generation that peace process can reach to achieve what you are looking for by getting independent and getting two-state solution. But the reaction of Israelis is always creating more and more crimes against humanity. We have the message of peace when the other side they are having message of war. We're getting opportunity before to getting peace with Israel's leader named Ishaq Rabin. By the way, he is the same person mentioned during the Intifada in 1987 that I hope to find Gaza has been swallowed up by the sea. But he changed his mind and he changed his principle and believed the only opportunity is not war. The only opportunity, it is peace. He changed his mind and he became partner of Yasser Arafat to create peace. But both of them killed by Israelis radicalism. Rabin was shot when he was in a conference in the street in Tel Aviv. And Yasser Arafat was poisoned by Israelis, which means we are the only leadership looking for peace in that peace process. Israelis, until now, their leadership are looking only for war. to achieve control of whole land of Palestine. And they are still believe between their, I think in their mind, according to what that mentioned in their holy book, that the land is of Israel from Nile to Furat. Which means if they get Palestine, they will not feel enough. They were looking to occupy Egypt and occupy Jordan, occupy Iraq. So when they going to feel enough? We are control all of the Middle East. I don't like to go more in their holy books because you're going, if you read it, you're going to be shocked because they are looking that Allah creating all the humans to become slaves for the Jew and serve them. This is how they are believe. So, is this what we are looking for? Apartheid system, apartheid think, apartheid steps to feeling safe? I don't know. I hear many questions from many journalists about normalization. That what you are speech about normalization. I have one answer. Once forever. What the meaning for the Israelis to normalize their relationship with all the nation, with all the world, when they are engaging conflict major partner in the conflict is the Palestinians. You are ignoring the Palestinians and you are normalizing relationship with all the nation. Did you going to reach peace and stability? I think no. The only address to get peace and stability is to normalize the relationship between Israelis and the Palestinians by accept two-state solution and the occupation and the settlements, giving the right of return to the Palestinians people to their own rights and their own homes and properties, respect the international law, respect the human rights principles, respect the international humanitarian law. And I need just to remind one thing. We are looking just to highlight one thing, small thing. Our leadership working hard to make Palestine a full membership on the United Nations. On the other hand, when Israel is joining the United Nations as a full member, it was according to Resolution 273. This resolution, according to that, accept Israel to become a member in the United Nations under two conditions. They need to obey and facilitate 181 resolution, which speak about two states on the land of Palestine. Obey and facilitate to see on the ground the right of return of the Palestinian by getting obey and respect 194 resolution, which means Israel, after joining this membership, turn its back to that resolution. And we have from United Nations more than 800 resolutions in favor of Palestine. 85 of it are resolutions from Security Council, but none of it appear on the ground because it is supported by the veto of Americans and supported by the vetoes of some European countries, because it is supported by the silence of the world, and it can create the crimes as much as can without one can touch it. This is their beliefs. I'm sad what is happening on the ground. I'm sad for the killing of the Israelis and the Palestinians, because we are human beings, as I said before, but this madness needs to be ended. Gaza since 10 days without electricity, without gas, without fuel, without food, without medical supply. A lot of donation came to Egypt from many Muslim countries, many Arab countries, and still waiting on the borders to ask for a request only one request from the Israelis: give us the opportunity to send this humanitarian supply for the Palestinian civilians in Gaza. The answer, if any of it passes the borders, it's going to be attacked by our war planes. So what are you looking for? Kill the Palestinian by the bombs and killing Palestinians starving for food, without food and water? Is that what they are looking for? And I'm really feeling sad again and again when I see the silence of the governments and ask him again and again, when you going to understand the Palestinians are human beings like you, like the Israelis, and they have the right to live? When you going to be understand that? When the Palestinians going to be end once forever to become only Israelis on the ground? Is this what you are looking for? If that's what you are looking for, then how we can speak about peace and stability? How we don't have the right to defend ourselves? How we don't have the right to fight and complete our struggle for independence, to getting our natural rights according to international law, international resolution? Inshallah, one day soon, Palestine going to be free. Whatever they do, one day soon. This is the promise of Allah. The promise of Allah is haqq. It is right. One day soon, Palestine going to be free. This madness need to be ended today, not tomorrow. Your support really matter. The hard work of media people, very important, because you are raising the voice of right against the voice of fake and lies which is created by the Israelis. Israelis mentioned in the first days that they found some infant children, Israelis, killed by the Palestinians armed people there past the borders. And later on, Mr. Biden followed their lies and mentioned in his speech and repeat in his speech the lies which was getting by the Israelis leader. In the last, we couldn't find any Israeli child killed by the Palestinians armed people who passed the borders. But we see only Palestinian children killed by the Israelis. But we didn't see Mr. Biden or the other leaders feeling sad about the killing of the children of Palestine, like they were sad when they speak about the killing of the Israelis' child. Again and again, again and again, keep in mind that all nations are equal, all lives are equal, all life is matter, all life is precious. So we need to defend the life, protect the life of everyone, not only selected nations. A human rights principle created for all the human being, not for selected nations. Laws, international laws was created to protect peace and stability for all the nations, not for selected nations. International humanitarian law created to keep rules of war for all the nations, not only for selected nations. Like you care about Israelis, you need to care about Palestinians. In the end, Palestinians in the bad, Pakistan's in the bad. Thanks a lot for your time. And please, if anyone have a question, I'm ready to answer your questions.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your inspiring speech. Your thoughts are truly valuable to us, and every Pakistani shares those sentiments. To facilitate an interactive session, we will now open the floor for a question-answer session with our distinguished guest. So if you have any question, please raise your hand, and our volunteers will assist you with the microphone.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shafkat. I am MPhil Scholar of International Relations from International Islamic University, Islamabad. So, His Excellency, what do you expected from Pakistan? Because Palestine today face very difficult time. So, Pakistan has a very strong military, and Pakistan is a nuclear power country. So, what do you expected from Pakistan? Secondly, there are very many stakeholders in this war, from Western and supporting to Palestine, Iran and Russia. So, what do you think benefit for Palestine cause in this war, to supporting Iran and Russia? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. If you like, I will take one by one to give the opportunity to answer all the questions. First of all, we are appreciating the support of Pakistan, people, governments, leadership, president, and political parties. All of them are on the same page in supporting Palestine. This support was created by Qa'id Azam, may Allah bless his soul, and all the leaders still follow the steps of Qa'id Azam supporting Palestine, follow his principles, his vision to support Palestine. This is highly appreciated from us as a Palestinian people and Palestinian leadership. But for Muslim Ummah, not only for Pakistan, condemn statement isn't enough anymore. We need you to use your powers. We have a great ummah, a very powerful ummah, a very rich ummah. We need you to use your power. When I said about the power, I don't mean the military powers. I mean the soft power. I mean economical, financial, diplomacy, political. This is needed to be used wisely to end this madness first. End the double standard. If you are not respect us as a human, this means your interest with us, no need for it. If you are not respect human beings are equal, so how we can continue our work together? We are asking Muslim Ummah to use wisely their soft power to end this occupation, facilitate the establishing of Palestinian independent state with Jerusalem as its capital, facilitate the right of return of the Palestinian people, their own properties and their own homes, which were transferred from it by force by the Israelis in 1948, and make everyone respect the international law, international humanity law, human rights principles, and to accept that all the humans, all the nations are equal, and to exchange with each other love and respect to build better future, not only for Muslim Ummah, but for the humanity itself. Thank you for your question. And for Iranian and Russian, I'm not Iranian, I'm not Russian to speak on behalf of them. Okay, I'm Palestinian, Muslim. I get for that, I will get something, I get a strange question yesterday from the media that there is a news about military support aid for Gaza from China and Russia. I was shocked. I told them we don't speak about military aid, we speak about a humanitarian supply. Humanitarian supply aid is going to be aid from the countries. So again, we are looking for deal with us as a human, deserve to live, like the others human deserve to live. Thank you for your question.
Your Excellency, my question is, what is your take on Hamas? The October 7th adventure or misadventure on Israel that has caused all this today. So first of all, as a Palestinian representative, what is your take on Hamas? And secondly, do you see escalation of conflict in the region? Because there are several militias in the region, in Yemen, in Iraq, in Hezbollah, in Syria. Those are weighing their wings to put in their contribution in the conflict. So what do you see the status of the conflict at the moment? Do you see an escalation, and what will be the role of Iran? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, brother. Really, there is a lot of militia around the Palestine, but until now, who is involved in this conflict? Only the armed people in Gaza Strip. And I'm going to use not armed people, freedom fighters. Why I mention freedom fighters? Because we are under occupation. So when you are fight for your freedom, you are a freedom fighter. Doing right, doing wrong, what according to United Nations resolutions, the occupied people have the full right to use any facilities between their hand to free their country, free their homeland, and defend themselves against the power of occupation. This is the United Nations what is mentioned in their rules. This is the rules of international law, which try to be changed to change the freedom fighter to commemorate terror and change the power of occupation to have the right to defend itself. For what is happening, actually, it is a result or reaction of getting involved in peace process since 1991 with the Israelis, our leadership, and negotiate. On the other hand, we get nothing. We was involved in this negotiation for the peace process to reach for two-state solution. Until now, we have only Israel. Palestine is still under occupation. We are involved looking for right of return of our refugees. Until now, none of them come back. We are involved to getting stability and peace, what we are getting daily. Not only in Gaza, even in West Bank. Israeli settlers poured fire in houses when the people was asleep, in Hawara, in Nablus, and in Turmus Hayya. And the world keeps silence. We didn't see or hear anyone of that government speak about the suffering of the civilians from settlers. By the way, by international law, settlements are not legal. It is illegal. Okay? Illegal to shift citizens from the occupied power territories to the occupied territories. This is illegal. This is one thing. For what is going to be if this madness didn't end, this means all the doors are open. If we didn't give opportunity for peace and stability, all the devil doors going to be open. Until now, Gaza under attack. Later on, we don't know what's going to be happen. So what we are asking for it, give opportunity for peace, end this madness before it is developed and become out of control. Right now we speak about only one party to be controlled, Israel, by end this madness and this crime against humanity. Later on, if you can't control Israelis, I don't know how you can control others going to be involved in this conflict. Thank you for your question.
Assalamu alaikum, and thank you very much for coming and speaking on behalf of Palestine. Pakistan has always supported, as you said, since Qaid-e-Azam, we've always supported the right of Palestinians. But if you go back just 10, 15 years, we see that in 2012, Israel destroyed Gaza. In 2014, it destroyed it again. I think in 2019, it destroyed it again. Now in 2023, it's doing the same thing, basically committing genocide, and the world stays silent, as you said. So you've talked about UN resolutions and the two-state solution. And we've been talking about it for many years, many decades. And we see some sort of similarity with Kashmir in Pakistan as well, where India is the aggressor. But of course, Palestine's issue is much more worse than that. Do you think, besides just speaking on those solutions and talking of the UN resolutions, practically any steps can be taken to actually resolve the issue, or will we continue to see the same pattern of aggression by Israel in the future as well? So Gaza will rebuild eventually, and after 5-6 years, they will pick up another issue and they'll bomb you again, and then the history will keep repeating itself. Thank you.
First of all, I need to mention one thing. When the Egyptian army involved in war in 1973 and they cross the shield or defense of Bar-Lev, okay, the reaction of Israelis, they attack Egyptian school and killed many children, many students in that school. So Israeli crimes, it is continued since the establishing of it, even before. When the British changed their mind and organized the White Book after our liberation movement in 1936, they published a book to limit or decrease the transfer of the immigration of the Jew to Palestine, to be 10,000 per year. The reaction of Israelis, of the Zionism, just to be very more specific, because there was no Israelis at that time, the only Zionists, the reaction of them, the bombing a ship full of Jew immigrate from Europe to Palestine, next to Palestine, and said that the British themselves are attacked because they don't like to facilitate the immigration to Palestine. I hope my brother, he can go to the archive of his government and he will recognize I only share facts. I never, as a Palestinian, we will never share fake news. We never tell lies. We only tell facts because we have the power of our rights. Our power is very clear by facts. We don't need to create stories. So, this issue can be solved very easily by giving a message of peace, a vision of peace, by establishing, taking a procedure on the ground to facilitate two-state solution and giving hope that peace process will be end soon with two states and right of return for the Palestinian refugees. Then there is no need to conflict. We will have opportunity to create stability and develop our own countries, our own region, develop the economical sectors, financial sectors, build homes, build hospitals, build factories, build future of the next generation. This can be ended this. But as long as the some international superpowers blindly support the Israelis in their occupation, in their crimes against humanity, in their act against the international law, their acts against international humanity law, against the international human rights principles, we will see more and more circle of blood and circle of violence. This can be ended only by justice, peace, and accept that all the nations are equal and have the right to live in peace and stability.
Faizan.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Thank you so much for coming here and sharing those powerful words with us. My name is Mohammad Faizan Fakhr. I am a researcher at Islamabad Policy Research Institute. Sir, you have mentioned twice that 22% Palestinians are demanding 22%. My question is why 22%? And secondly, it's often said that for peace negotiation, a widely representative leadership government from the Palestinian side is required. Are you confident that Palestinians have such leadership which is widely representative of the people? Thank you so much.
I will ask your second question first. After that, I will answer the first question. We're getting elections in 2005 to choose our president. And after the killing of Mr. Yasser Arafat, Mr. Mahmoud Abbas, Abu Mazen, His Excellency, become the president of Palestine according to transparent and very democratic elections. 2006, we're getting the election for the parliament under occupation. We name it. That time, the Hamas getting the majority according to that elections. And again, the international community refuse our democracy and make us under punishment by stop. You know, we are living on donations. We are not independent. We don't control our natural resources. We not control our borders. So our economic is very poor and very weak. And many of our factories, many of our sector, economical institutes attacked by the Israelis. And we don't have the right to, peaceful and freedom to move and shift from this place to other place, because we have a lot of Israeli checkpoints in the roads, which makes it not easy to create a strong economical sectors. So we are live on donations from the international countries. Most of it from European countries. In that time, they stop and freeze their donation because Hamas ruling them. So they refuse the result of election. According to that, our leadership create a way that to get this donation in the account of the office of the president, because he's not Hamas. Okay? So His Excellency office become our president office and our financial ministry or Minister of Finance. This is how our leadership deal to facilitate the life of our people. So according to that, in 2021, we try, our leadership decide that we need to renew our political system by getting a new election. But the Israelis refused to give our people who are live in Jerusalem to join that election. According to that, our leadership decided to delay the election until the Israelis facilitate their participation in the elections, because it is maybe some people said, why if is one city not involved in the election, so what is it is not important, this is minor issue. No, it is very important, because Jerusalem is our own capital, and the Israelis mention it as their own capital. So when you are accept not your people who live in Jerusalem not participate and join the elections, that means you are accept that this is not a city under occupation. No, it is part of Israel's borders. According to that, this is going to be a very wrong message. According to that, our leadership decide election without Jerusalem not allowed, so we are going to delay the elections. So until the elections happen, the leadership, which is there in Palestine until now, it is legal and full power to present all the Palestinian people in Palestine and outside of Palestine. So the address for the Palestinian leadership of His Excellency Mahmoud Abbas, until we're getting a new election, maybe he joins the election, maybe not. Maybe he wins the election, maybe not the next election. But until that time, he is the legal leadership of Palestine and the Palestinian, and he is the address of our leadership. This for the first question. For the second question, why 22%? According to international resolution created by United Nations, when it is speak about two states, I let you see the map, and you see how they decrease Palestinian territory day by day. So maybe later on this, before a few years, it was a speech that Gaza state, Palestine state going to be only Gaza. As example, it has become more or less. By the way, Gaza, it is very huge on the news and very huge in it is participate in our battle for freedom and independence. But Gaza, it is only 360 kilometers. 360 meters. More than half of it, you can't use it for build anything because it is in the border. From north, it is Israel's border. From east, it is Israel's border. From south, it is Egyptian borders. And from west, it is the sea. So you can imagine that 2.2 million people are living on maybe 100 kilometers if you're taking out the infrastructure, roads, farms, all that things. You speak about 2.2 billion people live on less than 100 kilometers. You can imagine what miserable life they have, what kind of, and they are under siege since 20 years. I'm from Gaza, by the way. I couldn't see my family since 2012. Only we are seeing each other by phone, by social media. Why? I go to West Bank. I try to get a permission from the Aziz to visit Gaza. Not allowed. It is not easy right now to go through Egypt because it is take 24 hours, and it is not easy for my children, my wife, my daughters to be in the desert 24 hours, and before it was taking 1 week. When we speak about before, it was taking only 5 hours. So we can imagine what kind of miserable life Gaza people are living. It is not easy to go from Gaza to outside or come back to Gaza. Gaza, it is the most biggest open air prison in the world. Why 22%? As I mentioned, 181, it was 43%. After the occupation in 1948, it became 22% above it is West Bank under the Jordanian control. Gaza Strip was under the Egyptian control, and that time we have Palestinian government in Gaza. We try our best to free all Palestine. We try our best to deny Balfour Declaration. We try our best to battle for establishing of one state for two nations, but our power is very, very limited. According to that, we accept to establish a state, two-state, one for the Israelis and one for the Palestinians, because the Israelis even refuse to have one state for two nations, because the majority, according to democracy, going to be giving power of the majority. So the majority of the Palestinians going to be day by day going to be the Palestinians. So we accept to have two-state solution according to the borders of 1967 with Jerusalem as its capital, and even that the Israelis are refusing until now. By the way, when you are joining the peace process to start in Madrid Peace Conference in 1991, that time Ishaq Shamir was the Prime Minister of Israel, and he mentioned we're going to negotiate with the Palestinians for 20 years without give them nothing. We are in peace process since more than 30 years and we get nothing. This message, not for you as Pakistani, this message for the superpowers who are blindly supporting the Israelis in their crimes, in their occupation. What we was do during the last 30 years to facilitate peace, do nothing. According to that, the result of your silence, you support for the occupation and for not work stronger for getting peace, we are facing what we are facing now. So please don't blame the Palestinian, blame yourself first.
We got two more questions, one from here and then that.
Bundle of thanks for the opportunity. Munib Shah, intern, IPRI. Sir, two short questions. One is, in case IDF invades Gaza, so will we lose Gaza? And the second question is the flexibility showing by PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization. Is it negatively affecting the situation or not?
It seems that you're coming late, so you didn't hear what I mentioned about Gaza. Israel is requesting the Gaza people to leave their homes and their properties in north of Gaza since 1 week until now. They are insist to do that and transfer themselves to south of Gaza. This is the first step. Second step, according to what was mentioned by many of Israelis in their TV and the social media, that's why the Egyptians don't open their borders to transfer all Gaza people to Egypt temporarily until we finish killing and end Hamas once forever. And they are saying, why you don't build like Turkish when they are help and support with international community to achieve 2 million Syrian refugees inside the Turkish borders by building a huge camp for that refugees. Why you don't make the same in the desert of Sinai inside the border of Egypt to shift all the Gaza people from Gaza Strip to Egypt to end our battle against the terrorists there? This is what the Israeli leader done. This is the second step. They want to transfer for the second time the Palestinian refugees who are living in Gaza for the second time in their life since 1948 until now to be refugees in Egypt. But the third step, according to what's mentioned in their media and many international media and many in social media, that they are planned to damage Gaza by attack it by tactical non-clear weapons named the Jadam bombs. You need to read a little bit about Jadam bombs. It's going under the ground 50 meters. After that, it's destroy everything in circle about I'm not sure half mile or 1 mile. You need to read more that. I'm not from military, so I can't know the details. I'm only a diplomat. So, which means the third step will destroy Gaza once forever, which means if the Egyptians leadership was not wise and closed the borders until now, Gaza going to be damaged one forever, and the people of Gaza, if they leave Gaza, they will have no place to stay, or they will become refugees or looking for second nationality, lose their homeland for the second time. This is one thing. By the way, we are speaking about humanitarian supply. Americans request Egyptian leadership to facilitate getting out 600 Palestinians are double nationality. They are holding Palestinians, but they are holding American passports to be safe from the miserable life and the crimes against humanity in Gaza by the Israelis. The Egyptians said, okay, we will facilitate them to go out, but first you need to facilitate the humanitarian supply, which is waiting on the border since days, to go to 2.2 million people, Palestinian civilians live in Gaza. The Israelis said no, and we're going to attack it. So, my question for the United States of America: you are looking for safety and the protection for 600 Palestinian people because they are holding American passport. What about 2.2 million Palestinian civilians, children, women living in Gaza under attack, under these crimes? Their lives isn't matter? I'm waiting for their answer.
We have another question from...
Sir, I'm Faisal Raza Khan. I'm the senior correspondent for 92 News. Two questions, in fact. One is that after this massacre which is going on at Gaza by the occupied Israeli forces, Israel and its leadership making statements that they are going to change the entire map of Middle East, and they will not restrict it to Gaza only. So what they mean actually, whether they are talking about the greater Israel, whose map was once there in Tel Aviv, and that border might be to some of the other Muslim countries, as you have rightly mentioned in your talk as well. And secondly, today, OIC Executive Committee emergency meeting on Palestine is there in Jeddah. And what are your expectations from that meeting? Because you were talking about more than the condemnation Palestinians now require. So do you think that anything concrete would come out of OIC Executive meeting? Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your questions. First of all, Israelis' holy books speak that the border of Israel going to be from Nile to Furat, which means Nile River and Furat River, once in Egypt, the other one in Iraq. This is their dream. What delays this dream until now? What we are as a Palestinian still struggle for our independence and our freedom. If we give up, if we are damaged, this plan going to get the process on the ground. Right now, we are suffering on the name of all Muslim Ummah. We are defending Aqsa Masjid on the name of all Muslim Ummah. We are the first circle to defend Aqsa Masjid, to defend all our Muslim Ummah. We hope also, we are not going to be alone in this battle. Your support make us stronger. Your support it is matter. Giving the right story of Palestine, it is matter. It changed the lies and the fake Israeli stories against our people and against our history, it is matter. Each step taken in supporting the Palestinians' vision for peace and stability, it is matter. Each step against the Israelis' crimes, it is matter. Each step in obey international law, international principles, international human rights, it is matter. Giving the right peace in wise way, it is matter. This is what this need to keep it in mind. Israelis, they will keep do what they are do, as long as they feel there is no reaction of it. We said in Arabic, "Man amin al-iqab, asa al-adab," which means he will feel that he is secure from punishment, he will behave bad. Israelis feel secure by the silence of the world, by the double standard, by the supporting blindly from many power countries like Americans, British, France, German, etc., etc., etc. They feel they will not be punished. So according to that, they create crimes against humanity. They are secure by the American veto. They are secure by the fake media which support their lies by make it publish and market it even without check it is right or not. I don't know where is the professional of this Western media when they are publish that Palestinians kill 40 infants, cut their heads, okay, during they are cross the borders to from Gaza. There is no evidence of that, but we have 100%, a lot of evidence, thousands of evidence, okay, mention Palestinians, children killed in cold blood in Gaza and everywhere, not only in Gaza. When they are throwing fire in the houses in Turmusaya and in Huwara, there is children inside that. Not Hamas inside that houses, the civilians in that houses. So I don't know how long international society going to be silent of this crime. Israel said it's going to be to change the map of the region. But as they keep doing like this, I'm not sure who is going to be on that map and who is going to be out of it. OIC, I mentioned in my speech before. Your support, we appreciate the OIC. OIC, by the way, was created and establishing after one of Zionist settler from Australia came and born Aqsa Masjid in 1969. According to that, the reaction of Muslim Ummah by establishing OIC to defend Aqsa and defend Palestinians against the crimes created against them by the Israelis. So what we are waiting for Muslim Ummah from OIC is defend us, protect us, support us in our struggle for peace and independence and establishing our state, independent state. What they are waiting for Muslim Ummah. But statements, resolution is not enough. As I mentioned before, we're getting from United Nations more than 800 resolution, more than 85 resolution from Security Council of United Nations, and it doesn't do any change on the ground. We need a procedure on the ground. We need action on the ground. We need to see end of the double standard, end end of occupation and getting steps, real steps, okay, to end this misery, end this madness. One of my friends shared with me something that to raise fire in Gaza, to make Israelis accept raise fire in Gaza and end their madness in attacking civilians in Gaza, it needs all the world to launch war against Israel to accept this. I hope so. This is not going to be the future. I hope so the future going to be cooperate together to create peace and stability, not to create more violence and more war and more blood. Each life isn't matter. Each life is precious. Whatever, as I mentioned before, whatever your religion, your color, your nation, each life is important. And we are respect the lives of everyone, but waiting others to respect our lives, that we are having the right to live in stability and peace. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Your Excellency. In the interest of time, we won't be able to take more questions. So as we near the end of this event...
Sorry, but I didn't reach any question from any lady. I don't know. The ladies don't like to speak. Usually in their homes, their voice is louder.
We have one question from Mariam, so she must read.
Yes. I hope you have not been biased to give me the chance.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Thank you so much.
You know, I told you before, before I start my speech, I was one of the human rights defender in Amnesty International.
Yeah.
So I believe that the ladies have the right to raise their voices too.
Thank you so much, sir. There are two short questions from my side. One is that it is ineffable for us to describe the pain and anguish that Palestinians are going through. But the thing is that another thing that is monopolizing the headlines in Western media, and that is the role of Iran in these upheavals. So you see that the Western media and the Western countries are trying to kill two birds with one stone at a time, like defending Israel no matter what they do, and the other thing presenting Iran as a belligerent state, the role of Iran. Your comment on that. And the second short question is, what about the people who are in custody of Hamas? Do you think they have the capacity to turn the tables? Thank you so much.
First of all, I don't know why the Western media are focusing on Iran, not focusing about Gaza freedom fighters. If they are, let's see, to be open. I forget I'm a diplomat, forget I'm a Palestinian, I'm only a human being. Israel, it is investment of the Western country. It is establishing by the support of British and some European countries and Americans. Israel get aid more than $4 million every year as military aid from United States of America. Israel have the most powerful, the most modern technology of any weapon you can imagine. With that, and Gaza under siege, the electronic siege around Gaza, if a bird come close to it, directly automatic fire machines open fire and killed that bird or that animal. The question, how Palestinians, very limited group of Palestinian armed people, cross the borders and do what they do in the 7th of October. What the $4 billion from American aid, military aid, do for them? American people suffering from economical and financial problems, and many of them cross the limited of poorness lines. They are under the poorness line. And their government support foreign country, not support its own people with military aid with $4 billion. I think this $4 billion it is invested in America will going something for the American people who are suffering of poorness and illness. But they are supporting Israelis. And with that, the Israelis couldn't defend themselves against few group of armed Palestinian people across the borders. This time not from under the ground, from over the ground. So, the answer, arms, military aid, blindly support, not give peace and stability. The only way to get peace and stability is giving equal and just for two nations, equal of all the nations, by accepting two-state solution, by giving hope and opportunity for peace, by giving the Palestinians their right in getting and establishing their independent state with Jerusalem as its capital, by facilitating the right of return for Palestinian people. Israel is armed to their nose, but with that they didn't get peace and stability. So give opportunity, give other choice, going to the option 2. Option 1 was war and armed and becoming stronger and stronger, and in the end you couldn't protect yourself against a small group of armed people. So go for the second choice was going for peace, going for respect others as humans, respect the international laws, respect the international resolutions, and giving the Palestinians the right of having their own independent state with Jerusalem at its capital. This is what we are thinking about. This is the answer of your question. That's violence only creates violence. So we are looking really for peace. For your second question about, it was about okay, about the hostages. Really strange that the international media focusing about, I think the speaker of Hamas said that they have about 200 to 250 hostage from Israel's army and Israeli settlers from the shield around Gaza. They're focusing about 200 to 250 and ignoring 7,500 Palestinian prisoners in the Israeli jails. Ignoring that 2.2 million Palestinians are under siege since 20 years, which means they are in open air jail. Again, we need to look for all nations, for all nationalities, for all religions. They have the right of life, right to live. They have the right of stability, have the right to be free, not imprisoned. So the 200 Israelis' life is precious and important, but on the other hand, we have 7,000 prisoners in the Israeli jails. Their life is important too. We have 2.2 million Palestinians under siege in Gaza. Their life is important too. We have 2.5 million in West Bank suffering of the closure, suffering of the checkpoints, suffering of no opportunity to have stability and better life for the next generation. So we need equal and end the double standard, even in this case. Each life is important. Each life has the right to have stability and peace and better future. Thank you very much for your questions.
Thank you, sir. Just to conclude, before we conclude the session, I would like to invite President IPRI, Dr. Raza, to please come on the stage and present his concluding remarks and present a memento to the Honorable Chief Guest as well.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Once again, Excellency, we are very grateful to you that you came. You spoke from the bottom of your heart. You shared the feelings of your soul, and you were very candid and forthright. Thank you so much for being here.
Just for this, just sorry for that.
Yeah, please.
As I mentioned before, me and my wife are from Gaza. As a human being, as a son, I couldn't be in touch with my family, with my mother, since 3 days. Not sure if she is alive or died. And facing this stupid media of double standard, and try to be professional diplomat by speak about my Palestinian people as whole, and ignoring my own feelings. I hope so. We have end this double standard once forever. And remember that we are all son and daughter of Adam and Eve. Thank you very much.
Excellency, we share your grief, we share your feelings, and I can see that you're torn apart between your constraints, being a diplomat, and being a human being, being a father, being a son, being a brother, and being one of the relatives of the people who are presently suffering a catastrophe or facing a catastrophe in Gaza. We stand by you. Unfortunately, the cries of the wailing mothers, beheaded children, killed innocent civilians and old people are falling on the deaf ears of the great powers. When you say double standard, you very rightly said, does Israel only have the right for the self-defense? And it is only Israel. We should have the democracy and not Palestine. I think you are very right. In this age and service, sir, I have my own opinion about these things. Yes, human rights, democracy, non-proliferation, economic concessions and loans by the international institutions, and more recently the climate, they are more of tools of coercions and blackmail, and they are applied selectively. They are not applied uniformly. There are so many countries which do not have democracy, which are not having exemplary human rights, but still they are on the right sides of the great powers because it suits them. Decolonization actually left so many territorial disputes. I don't know whether you happen to see the map of Africa. You will see that straight lines were drawn regardless of ethnicity, regardless of tribal moorings or religious or cultural considerations. There are so many other places in the world, including Kashmir and Palestine, which are going through perpetuating wars and conflict and sufferings because the territorial disputes were by mistake, by intention, or whatever left behind. You're very right, sir. The international law gives right to the freedom fight, to the people under occupation to fight for their freedom. And Palestine is a role model for whole the world. They've been fighting missiles with stones, with bare hands. And they are sacrificing and giving their children every day to the cause. And they are embracing death or shahadat more than life as it is given in Quran. That moment are those who love death in the cause of Allah more than the life. But unfortunately, It's law of jungle. Might is right. Kashmir also suffers. India is actually emulating the model of Israel to suppress the Kashmiris there. You were very wise, sir, and real diplomat when you replied that you do not need military support, but as a minimum, moral support, political support, diplomatic support, and soft power. As you very aptly said, this solution lies in two states, as agreed upon at multiple times, whether it was Camp David, whether it was Oslo, whether it was Madrid, or London, or elsewhere. So the solution lies there. We wish you all the luck, sir, and we hope that the atrocities, as you said, the madness ends soon, and Palestinians are given respectively their own home back. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.